to make a quilt by Yvonne Wells standards. There is no standard to what I do compared to the regular quilters or traditional quilters where there is a pattern. I have no pattern. I only see things that I want to make and go ahead and process that on a piece of fabric as opposed to having a template or a pattern or something to go by. I don't have guidelines. I don't have rules or regulations. You can't do. I have just the opposite. Because I consider myself and am an artist, I feel that the way I do my work is all correct. I have no one to critique it as far as saying it is right or it is wrong. When an idea comes to me, it comes to me in different forms. I can either see it, I can feel it, or I can hear it. And from there, I will take maybe 1 or 2 weeks or less and think about it. And all the while, I am processing it from beginning to end. But you must realize during the process, I may find something else that will come in to my thinking process, and I have to incorporate that into the original thinking. Fabrics, it doesn't matter what kind of fabric I use, as long as I can stick a needle in it and use it to tell the story. Like I said before, I buy fabrics, I find fabrics, I search for fabrics, and I do all of that kind of thing. And it does not have to be, quote, quilting cotton. I don't particularly like that, but if it's going to tell my story, I will. I'm known for the real bright colors because I like colors, because to me, a quilt has to sometimes enlighten the story that I'm trying to tell. And sometimes I am confronted with why did you put this color with that color? It doesn't match, but to me, all colors match. So that is my process. And when I do get this idea, I come to this room here, lay it on the floor, and start cutting, start creating. And each time when I cut a piece, the piece that fell off to the side may be the very piece I'm looking for. It's very seldom that I would discard a piece of fabric because the shape is going to say something to me, and the color will say something to me as well. And from there, I start pinning on pieces, and the story is being told all the while I'm pinning on and cutting out and tearing. And it's not where I'm sitting down, I'm crawling on the floor, I'm stepping on the fabrics, because it's me. It's me, the artist, who's stepping on the fabric, but you can't step on it. But I can, because from the quilt comes the heart that I'm trying to give to whomever sees the quilt. My heart is in a quilt. My hand creates that quilt, and my head sees that quilt. So it's a long process, but it's a real fulfilling process for me.